My brothers and sisters, welcome to episode number 41 in the book of Psalms. Specifically, these are the Psalms of my friends, and today we're going to ask a question about friendship. That is, are you a friend of God? Now, it's audacious, I know, even to be asking this question, and I only ask it because He, the Lord, has made the very question possible. Now, in the New Testament, Abraham is referred to, both the New Testament and the Old Testament, Abraham is referred to as a friend of God. Now, God has done his part in the friendship. He's extended this friendship to all of us now. So if you're listening and watching this, you can be a friend of God. In John 15, verse 14, it says, "You are my friends if you do what I command you. No longer do I call you servants, for the servant does not know what his master is doing. But I have called you," wait for it, "friends. For all that I have heard from my Father, I have made known to you." All right, so the point here is that God has been friends with us. And the question, are we friends with God? And if you're not a friend of God, let's say you're attracted to the title of this, and you can assess, no, I'm not a friend of God. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. Let's get to work. What we're doing is we're going to be looking to the truths of Psalm 25 today. We've talked about it for 2 days and done the first 7 verses. I'm going to start in verse 8 of Psalm 25. Good and upright is the Lord. Therefore he instructs sinners in the way. Let me pause there. So the people that we're talking about are sinners, sinful. Jesus came to save who? The sinners, the sick, the troubled people. Now they're not going to stay there. Verse 9, he leads the humble in what is right and teaches the humble his way. So let me pause again. The Lord is looking for teachable, humble, instructable people that are willing to take instruction. That's the posture of the people that can become friends with God. Verse 10, all the paths of the Lord are steadfast love and faithfulness for those who keep his covenant and his testimonies. So the characteristics of God are directed at faithful people. We've been talking about the hesed, the steadfast love of the Lord, in the last few days. So 2 key characteristics of friendship, we'll get to a third at the end of this, are familiarity and fondness. So I'd argue that God has already proven his familiarity with us. He knows us. He made us. He made all this creation, and he knew us from about a forever ago. So he's already familiar with us. Secondly, his fondness is demonstrated to us by his tender care. How do we see that? In his hesed, in his faithfulness, in his steadfastness, even when we are wobbly. So the 2 big characteristics that the Lord is required to have for us is familiarity and fondness, and he already meets those and have met those for a long time. Now, our psalmist is describing someone who is going to be described as a friend of God, literally here in Psalm 25. So he's describing what friendship looks like and what the character of the person who is a friend of God looks like. So wouldn't you want to know what the friendship of God towards a person looks like? So he describes a bunch of things here in this psalm. So we've already said this is a humble person who bears instruction well. He's teachable, or she's teachable, and he's familiar with the Lord. Now, it's not a sinless person. It's not a perfect person, but it's forgiven, and it's a person that comes to God honestly, which obviously means humbly with regards to their sin. Thirdly, they're changing behavior. They're keeping covenant. They're obeying. They're exhibiting some new family behaviors. Christian is as Christian does. Fourthly, they have this familiar, even favored relationship. That's the beauty of being a Christian. You get this special family position, and you receive the fondness of the Lord as you demonstrate a fondness for the Lord. We call that grace in the business. And then the 5th one, which we're going to get to just here now, is respect and this reverence, this holy reverence. Verse 11, for your name's sake, O Lord, pardon my guilt, for it is guilty. Again, this is the forgiven sinner. Verse 12, who is the man that fears the Lord? him will he instruct in the way that he should choose. So this person that postures himself as a friend of God is instructable, teachable, and has this appropriate fear of the Lord. His soul shall abide in well-being, and his offspring shall inherit the land. Here's the big verse for today, verse 14. The friendship of the Lord is for those who fear him. This is the friendship of God. And he makes known to them his covenant, so this familiarity that you see with friends. 15, my eyes are ever towards the Lord, for he will pluck my feet out of the net. This hints at the favoredness that being a Christian is. It's a great place to be because we live under grace. More good than we deserve. Okay, so the friendship of the Lord is for those who fear him. The ESV note on the English word, which is translated as friendship, also can mean the secret counsel. The secret counsel of the Lord is for those who fear him. The familiarity of the Lord is for those who fear him. So what is this spiritual mature fear? Well, sometimes it's to be afraid and to tremble. How could we not before the Lord? But it also includes this reverence and a profound respect and admiration that we awe and bow towards his awesomeness. So friends of God occasionally fear God. So the last question today is, are you a friend of God? So let me ask you 3 questions. Are you fond of him? Are your affections inclined to him? Check that. Do you echo the cries and intimacy of the Psalms and call out with the wonders of creation in Psalm 19, or rest beside the still waters of Psalm 23? Do you joyfully anticipate Sunday worship so much that you want to go to bed early on Saturday night? Second question is, are you familiar with him? Do you like his instruction and counsel? Do you read the Bible? Do you study it? Do you listen regularly? And then finally, are you in fear of him? So ask which one of those 3 things, fondness, familiarity, or fear, which one do you do the worst? And then maybe let's ask the Lord, Lord, could you grow my fondness for you? Lord, could you grow my familiarity with you? Or, if necessary, Lord, grow my fear of you. Thanks for listening.